Well, boys, as I'm sure you all can probably tell by the title of the video, something special has happened. There's some of it right there. We'll get to that in a minute. Try to unlock the door. But I got a question for you guys. How many lawnmowers can you fit in the back of a small pickup? I hit the proverbial redneck jackpot on lawnmowers. Granted, some of these are not in the best physical condition. One of them is actually in a somewhat halfway state of disarray. Let's get them unloaded, then we'll talk about them some more. Well, so the truck's unloaded. Before I show you guys the mowers, I'll give you a bit of a backstory. I got a call today while I was at work from somebody who said that they were either a manager or a supervisor at a trailer park, and unfortunately it wasn't Mr. Leahy. And they had a bunch of lawnmowers that they wanted to get rid of. They didn't know how many offhand. They didn't know how many of them worked and how many of them didn't. And they asked me if I could come and pick them all up. I said, sure, no problem. The guy told me that he probably wouldn't be there by the time I got off work. Got there to pick them up, and I said, well, that's okay, I guess. Who should I leave the money with? And he's like, oh no, don't worry about it. You're doing us a huge favor by getting rid of these. We generally buy 1 or 2 a year anyways, and we're able to write that off on our taxes. So it's really no big deal. So I said, sure enough, I'll go ahead and grab them for you. And I'm not kidding you guys. I got all of these for free, minus one. I just put it in here because I don't think I made a video on it. But let's go ahead and start over here. This is a newer Craftsman. I don't know how old. I haven't looked at any of the dates on any of these. I've looked at a couple things, but not very many. Unfortunately, it does have the Autochoke system. Haven't really been a big fan of that lately. This one I did do a compression check on it. Felt like it had good compression. So this is definitely a candidate to fix up and hopefully move it. I'm not really 100% sure that I want to fix it up, being it's got that Autochoke system on it. Some people really don't understand the premise behind those. How you'd never really want to run them out of gas, but anywho. This one I actually picked up over the weekend. It's definitely a candidate to restore or get running again. I don't know the condition of the motor. It doesn't have the pull cord on it. The guy claimed he was just starting it with a rope. I don't know if he was jacking me around or not. This one I actually did pay a little bit of money for. It's also missing the primer bulb on the carburetor, and it's also missing the blade. I don't know if he just took the blade off to be facetious, or he found this on the side of the road, but he claimed that he was going to use it, and the primer bulb finally broke, and he just didn't want to use it or deal with it. And I'm sure some of you guys with a keen eye can already tell you, or tell me, what my plans are going to be for this one. I haven't really looked it over too much. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, good. That's not a crack. But it's got a Honda motor in it. It's probably Black Widows all over this stupid thing. Definitely needs an oil change. It's the first time I've seen that oil. But this felt like it had compression, but of course the pull cord doesn't want to go back in because it's kind of stuck. Got to kind of feed it back in. No matter, I've got plenty of parts for this now. In fact, I'll go ahead and give you guys another pull of it. I don't know what brand this thing is. It's hard to keep my hand on the phone and do this at the same time. She feels like she has compression. Now, I noticed this on a couple of them. You guys will see it as I show you, but really oddly, a lot of the decks are cracked. I don't know why. The only way that typically happens, which it doesn't look like it happened on this one, or really any of them, is because, you know, a blade gets bent, or there's a lot of vibration from a bent crankshaft, which I haven't gone through and tested all these, but it's always a possibility, I guess. This alone is what makes it all worth it, provided this thing works. Crankshaft looks like it's okay. Just from a little preliminary look over. I don't know what brand this thing is. It looks like it might have been red at one time, or bright orange. Maybe a Home Depot house brand. I have no idea. I don't know if it's Troy-Bilt. I thought Troy-Bilts were bright red. But it might be one, I suppose. Some of these came with grass bags, some of them didn't. But this one will be put on, provided that I can get it going, hopefully that pressure washer. And hopefully the crankshaft is the correct length. So now we're on to this one. This is a very old school Briggs & Stratton edger. I don't know what date this thing is. In all honesty, they're probably not the most uncommon in the world. However, this one's kind of interesting because it looks like it has the old style rope starter, but it doesn't feel like that there's any compression. So even if I did want to fix this thing and get it going, this motor, it doesn't look like it's really worth it. However, the edger's frame is in good shape. The pulley's still there, all the running gear is still there. So this would be a good candidate for a Harbor Freight motor. That's a definite. Nice heavy duty edger like this would be great for out here. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with that. Now I have this one. Again, newer Craftsman, probably within the past 5, maybe 8 years. I haven't dated any of these, as I've said. I don't remember that I did do a compression check on this one. Oh, she's got compression. But this one, oddly enough, also has a kind of messed up deck. I don't know what the issue is. That is really weird to me. Yes, that's not the best sign. Looks like a rock was flung right through there. But it has good compression. So this might be a candidate to get going again. I might end up scrapping the deck. I don't have a welder here, so I don't own a welder at all. Or else I would just weld that. But you never know. Might pick up a welder here anytime. Haven't checked the crankshaft on that. Honestly, this seems like a pretty sturdy mower. At the very least, those 2 wheels can be put onto that Toro that I've got. Which is another thing. I got all these for free, as I said. And if even one of them works, well, I mean, if none of them work and I can get parts off of them all, it was definitely worth it. I mean, yeah, some of them are missing blades. This one isn't. This one has the blade. But this one does not have any compression whatsoever. It might be one of those easy start systems where it kind of blows off a little bit of the compression when you run the starter. So I might have to look into that. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't really think that that's the case. I really think that this thing is probably just worn out, just judging by the condition of all these other mowers that I've picked up. This deck, I believe, was good. Wasn't any cracks or anything. So this is a good deck. If any of those motors over there work, minus that Honda engine, this will be a good one to use as well, on top of that one. And now we get to this one. I knew exactly what this one was. As soon as I saw the, big area of lawnmowers that they wanted me to pick up, I saw the green and I knew what it was. This is a Lawnboy. It's not a real one. Not real meaning it's not a 2-stroke. It's got a Kohler engine on it. And Ghetto Hillbilly 1, I was just talking to you about the Kohler engine on your lawnmower. It's oddly enough and funny enough that I pick one up with what I'm expecting is the same exact motor. Now, they did take it apart. I have no idea why. I don't think these people that I was dealing with were exactly the sharpest tools in the shed, let's just say. I don't know why they took it apart. More than likely it was a carb issue. I'm guessing the carb's probably just dirty. By the look of it, it would not surprise me at all if it is dirty. Part of the reason why I say they aren't the sharpest tools in the shed is they told me the gasket for this thing, the valve cover, was missing. But I knew when I saw it was right inside the valve cover. So, yeah, I don't think they really knew too much what they were doing. I think they just kind of took this thing apart, thinking they were going to fix it, and it didn't end up happening. But this one is going to be a fun project. I don't know really much more about it. I did run my hand over this a couple times, and it definitely builds compression. I don't know how much. I'd like to do a compression test on it. The downside of this one, I do not have any Kohler parts. In fact, I've never worked on a Kohler motor before. So I don't know what the state of this one is going to be. Like I said, I don't know much more. I didn't even check the oil on it, to be honest with you guys. Yep, no oil. Not even a drop. So that thing will get some oil in it before I start really messing with it. And it also needs 2 back wheels, which I could have sworn I could have sworn it just needed 1. I could have sworn there was a wheel on it, but I guess there isn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I was almost 100% sure that there was another wheel on that thing, but I guess not. Unless it wouldn't go into the back. You guys are going to have a plethora of lawnmower videos coming your way here pretty soon. I apologize for all the noise. That's the neighbor going on, doing some trees. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I sure enjoyed picking these up. And I got 2 more calls today on top of this one. The other 2 I'm more than likely going to have to give money for, which is okay. The other 2 callers are, I believe they're expecting money for what they have. I was just really surprised to come by this one. So stay tuned for future videos. I will say this right now, not all of these are going to have a dedicated video on them, basically because I don't know what they all need. I know what some of them have, but other than that, yeah, I really don't know the full scope of everything. So there's going to be a few different things I'm going to look at here. All of these definitely need a cleaning. Hope you guys enjoyed this video yet again. You all stay classy.